Do you like my new shirt? Hello, Walter. It is a nice shirt. Where did you get it? I got it in the Dwarf Galaxy. The Dwarf Galaxy? That looks like 25,000 light years away. Yes, I agree. It's very far out.
Four Horsemen Studios put on their annual Legions Con this past weekend, and that's a convention for fans of Mythic Legions, action figure collectors, and customizers. And what we were looking at, Wal-Torr the Mad, is the exclusive for day number 2, which is the day I attended. And I know exactly what you're thinking, and you are absolutely correct. Nothing is more terrifying than a warrior named Wal-Torr. Clearly, he used to be an accountant in his former life before he became a skeleton warrior, and he really brings that tenacity into his fighting, and he can balance books as well as wield a sword.
Tremble before Wal-Torr.
Hey, Willie! So this is a 2-pack. It's got a Mythic Legions character, and it also has a Cosmic Legions, the new line that's been out it's got 2 or 3 line waves out now, but it's more of the alien cosmic space, whereas Mythic Legions is more fantasy realm, warriors, dwarves. So, and then you got a cool little silica packet. So I want to keep our skeletons bone dry. And we have a nice little backing piece in here. So I'm just gonna kind of turn this around and take a look as a backdrop. It's a nice space scene. I could probably use that for some of my stop motions. It's a really cool image. So I'm gonna put that off to the side. Usually I throw in my packaging, but that one I like, so I will probably put that to use. All right, so now we can see all the goodies that these guys come with. So we have the heads, the guns, the weapons. There's a t-shirt in there. There is just tons of good stuff. We are going to open them all up. We're going to play with them, and we're going to see what we like and potentially what we don't like. But it's Mythic Legion, so there's a chance we're just going to like it all. It's just some of the things we might like more than others. So we've got our twist ties, and let's get those undone so we can free Wally. And I chose to call him Wally in this instance because had I gone with Free Willy, I might have found myself in a whale of trouble. So I went with Wally. So he's still in there a little bit. We just gotta pluck him out. The ties are actually doing a really good job. Even when they're untied, they keep him in. All right, so there we go. We've got our skeleton free, and he stands pretty well. Most of the skeletons and Mythic Legions characters, their articulation, their balance is amazing. And that looks like an articulated jaw, which it is, and I absolutely love a good articulated jaw. So I'm very happy with this. And the helmet is amazing. I'm probably going to end up keeping this one on versus some of the interchangeable heads. And then the background looks very excited to see us. Oh! So, that's every time you turn around the Mythic Legions character, if he's not wearing his shoulder pads, he does look rather surprised. I'll just fix that. It was caught on his knee, but it went right back into place, and it's rubber goods, so very easy to move around. All right, so let's take a look. His sword fell out as I was opening him, so that gets to be the first accessory that he goes with, which, just taking a quick glance at what else is in there, I think he's probably going to be displayed with the sword because it is, 1, amazing, and 2, amazing. So there we go. I'm just going to fix this a little bit so we can get a nice shot of our skeleton in action and just get a better view of his head and what we got going on in the background. So let's see, what are we going to look at next? So many choices. Here's another cool little head that he comes with. Again, it is in a helmet, but it's a different one. This one does not have the articulated jaw, but it's got a cool little hood wrap around it. I might put that on another character. The other great thing about Mythic Legions is their parts are fully customizable and interchangeable, and you could really make your own character out of them, which is pretty amazing. Now we have a flag, which is upside down, but I'm just showing the little details on kind of the post of it. And this is the way it goes, and it looks like it's going to have a little stand. You can see a hole in the bottom. So let's take that out so that we can see it in all its glory. It looks gigantic. Just looking at the staff that it comes with, that it sits on top of, it's really going to be pretty massive. And that's in there pretty good. So you can try to slide it out. I'm just going to cut the plastic so that I don't have to worry about breaking it. And then there we go. It's got a ball in the end, so we can, it could pivot around, it can move. Then a little notch on top. Now, just comparing it against Wal-Torr, it is just absolutely massive. Here is our friendly skeleton, and then it is like twice his size. This thing is massive. If you do like a scene, you could definitely use that, put it in a castle, put it in a battlefield. You can see these guys coming from quite a ways away as they're walking the battleground. All right, so I'm probably not going to display that one. That one is way too tall for my shelves. So let's take a look at his soft goods next. And it looks like it is a cool little cape. It's made of probably like a bear skin or some sort of fuzzy animal. And it's really soft. So, and then it has a little shoulder Fuji on it. That's a technical term for those in fashion. And there is I'm just trying to see how it fits on. So there's a hole in the back. So it looks like for the shoulder pads, there's a peg in the back that goes in the hole, and then it looks like it's going to drape over him. So let's take a look at that. So that means we need to get his shoulder pads out so that we can plop it in. So let's see, it's not back here. I think I saw it on the bottom of the front. Yeah, you can see them there, the nice little silver guys. So let's pop that out and pop that out. So much good stuff in here. Yeah, as far as accessories goes, Mythic Legions usually come with just a ton of really good stuff, weapons and stuff. But this one in particular really just has a ton to offer, and the heads. I mean, it's an exclusive for a convention, so they went all out, above and beyond. So here we go, our shoulder pads. And I'm also just grabbing his purse that we're gonna put on him prior to putting the shoulder pads on, because it's gonna be a lot harder to fit over his shoulder when he's got the massive metal bulge on there. So there we go, a nice little satchel. And you can see what is tied up below there is likely a recipe for his world famous fondue, which he will protect with his life, which is why he's got all those weapons, knives, blades. He will not let anyone else make that. He brings it to every party and can't have the competition. So let's look at this. So we see the peg in the back. That's going to go through the hole in the bear skin cape, and then it plugs right into the hole back here. So usually they just push right in. As I was saying, usually they just push right in. This one's got a little bit of a stick to it, so it's not actually going in as easy as I think any of the other ones I've ever had. But actually, now that I think of it, most of my Mythic Legions figures I have, they actually come packaged with the shoulder gear already in place. I don't know how many of these I've actually had to put in versus just take them out and plop them in, and then they've already kind of been form fitted. So actually, even the other one is the same. It's a lot of force to get it in. That one popped in a little bit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna now take that out and we're gonna put his cape on. But that was a lot more work than I was expecting. So there we go. There's the hole. And it looks like he's actually ready to just snuggle up and take a nap wherever he lies down. So I'd say as far as capes go, this was the proper choice. This was probably the snuggliest, or it might have been a former bear pet that he just couldn't say goodbye to, so now he wears him around. Just any one of those things. Is I don't know Wal-Torr, so I can't really speak to it. I don't know his backstory, if he was a pet handler. So now we can drape it over his shoulder. I can see pieces of the fuzz of the cape coming off. Actually, I believe the way it's draping over the shoulder, it should go on the other shoulder so that it goes across his back, and then the shoulder piece goes across the other one. So what I'm likely going to have to do is see if I can get this in the other one that I was having trouble getting into the peg. So let's see what we can do with that. And still not going in too easily. And my desire for him to wear the cape is now waning, and his head gave way. So I'll probably give this another few seconds before I just abandon him completely and just have him go without the soft fuzzy cape. But I am going to want to get his shoulder pads on eventually, so I might have to sand him down a little bit to get them on. So maybe at some point in the future, not on this video, I will see if I can get his cape going. But the cape might actually not work too well for stop motion animations, just because the soft goods tend to move around and make the animation look a little bit choppy, in my opinion, for my style. So it's probably in my best interest to not have him wear the cape. And I'm just looking at those pegs. They don't really look too abnormal. And we'll get his fondue recipe back on because I really like the design of it, and I think it's just a really cool additional feature. It's getting caught on his head, and I don't feel like breaking it or ripping it, so I'm gonna put that on later after I get it off him so that I don't chance breaking it. There we go. That's a future me problem. And let's see what other fun stuff he comes with that we can play around with. Alright, so he's got a ton of weapons to choose from, and I am going to go with his handy dandy bow, which is just a cool color, cool design. Mythic Legions comes with a lot of bows, so it's a very standard design for that. Kind of has a cord, rope, stringy thing that they can pull back on and let the arrows fly. He did come with a individual arrow in here so you can display it, or he's got this quiver that you can put on his belt. You see the little hook on there, and that would slide on. It's not it seems like a lot of the accessories don't quite go as easy as some of the other figures I've gotten from them. I've never had this much difficulty, and I just don't want to break it, so I'm not going to force anything. So we'll take a look at them, but for the most part I'm going to probably play around with some of the stuff off camera. Oh, here's a nice little gourd that'll fit right on. That one looks amazing. And next up we have this cool little dagger in a sheath. It's very well decorated, and it's kind of a curved blade. It's actually a really amazing looking knife, and it goes on his belt as well. It's got the little hook there so we can put it on there. I'm not going to monkey around with that right now. And then this is probably one of the coolest things. It comes with a Cabal shirt. The Cabal is like the community that Mythic Legions, like the fan community. So I'm not sure if this is a nod to them or if this was, I'm sure it was named after something. I'm not sure the history of it. All I know is that a skeleton warrior that comes with a t-shirt is just funny. So he's probably, in my collection, always going to be wearing the t-shirt, or someone's going to be wearing the t-shirt. This is just absolutely amazing. And the way it fits on is actually really cool. It's got the Velcro in the back. It's elasticy, so it fits right over the arms and the gauntlets on them. So it's a good fit. It's sized perfectly. It's very form-fitting. It's slimming. It's his color. It brings out his lack of eyes. Just, yeah, really amazing t-shirt. I love this. So this is probably my favorite accessory. At least the favorite accessory so far. We still got a whole box full of goods to go through. So let's see what else we got. Like Wal-Torr's Spaceman Friend. So this is from the Cosmic Legions series. So the Skeleton Warrior was from Mythic Legions, and then the Spaceman is from Cosmic Legions. That has more of like a space feel to it. So he's got the cool little helmet. I think this is a similar design to one of the other figures that they did. I don't know if it's the exact. Whoa! It's got the face on the back, and he fell over. Actually, I knocked him over on purpose so that we could see the cool designs on his feet. So you're welcome. Actually, just the fact that the bottom of his feet have a design to them, I think, is just shows the attention to detail of Four Horsemen Studios on their toy lines. So this is a cool little back accessory. You can tell by the peg that goes, like the square peg that goes into the mouth hole of the back face. So this looks like it goes over his shoulders and then will fit right in. It is a little bit snug, but that just means that it's gonna go on and it's gonna almost be a permanent feature of them. It probably wasn't on there for packaging purposes, either for safety or for people who didn't want to put it on, so they didn't have to take it off. But it is it's giving me some issues, but it's made some headway. I just need to fit it in, and it looks like I got it. So that looks really cool. Yeah, it gives them just a little bit more of a space design. It's kind of got that hooded thing. He also comes with like a dome that goes on the top that looks like it just slides right in place. But we would have to swap out one of the heads, like for one of these, so that the dome fits. So this looks like it's an alien skull for the shape of the alien head. And look at those. He's got those really high cheekbones that all of the slippery, that all the model warriors really, really kill for. Yeah, those are some fine looking cheekbones. And then the other head he comes with is the more classic, just skeleton. You could put this probably on either one of them, or any of the other characters. Oh, he's got the articulated jaw. That's really like mock. Yeah, that's just a lot of fun. I really like this just basic skeleton head with the articulated jaw. I might swap that onto some of my other figures, maybe like the knight figure. All right, so now he's got, it looks like a little blaster, but it's not one that he holds. It's got a little peg on it, so we have to see where that fits in. It might fit on his body, it might fit on some of his other guns. Actually, like there's a little hole right there. It could probably slide in there, but I don't think that is the the intended use of it, because that's a very odd placement for a blaster. So I'm going to say that is probably not it. But we're going to keep on looking. So here is his other gun, which is cool. It's like a more of a handheld one. It's also got the little hole on the side. Again, probably not for the little blaster. So let's take a look at what we can do. Oh, actually, so here's that little hand blaster. Actually goes right on his arm. So it's like a, yeah, just like a little cannon that fits right on his arm. That is cool. That is pretty amazing. Yeah. So you can just aim it and just, yeah. He's always got a weapon, and he's got 2 free hands still. So we can give him a sword, we can give him one of his blasters, we can give him the shield that he came with. Oh, that's cool. So he's got little open holes on the back and an open hole on his other arm. So we could really fully accessorize him. And he also came with these little clear plastic pegs, and we know how to use those. So let's plop one of those in one of the guns, and then it just fits right onto his belt. And now he's got a holstered gun on his belt, so he can just grab when he's ready and start firing away. I guess we could also put them on his wrist, on those attachment pieces, but I just don't think that would look quite right. I think it was intended for the belt. And then he's going to hold his larger gun. It doesn't fit quite well in that hand with the trigger finger, which is odd because you'd imagine that the trigger finger would be on the trigger. And you get a nice close-up of his feet as I fiddle around with his gun. And that looks pretty awesome. I prefer it on the trigger finger hand. I might play around with that later. Just right now it seems loose, so I might have to figure something out. And now his next accessory is his shield. So we saw a little peg on the back. It doesn't fit on the peg on the arm, so there's likely something else on there. So there's his symbol. It's a nice little octopus alien with horns type looking thing. And all right, there's probably something in here that I missed in the packaging that's gonna let that shield fit on. So I'm just gonna find that real quick. And this is a great problem to have, too many accessories in your figures. So there it is. It looks like a little socket wrench. And yeah, so it looks like it fits right onto that tinier peg and then creates a little handle for him to hold. So there we go. So now let's see how he looks. So it does not look like this hand is actually intended to hold the shield. The other hand really is likely the one because it's got the tighter grip. And just looking at it, actually, this little thing popped off. Looks like it goes right back on. It's a reflector, so if he's running with his shield at nighttime, the cars can see him. So, yeah, as I was saying, the hand, it looks like the other one was intended to hold it. But just looking at the shield, probably not the biggest fan of it. It covers up too much of his body, so I'm probably going to display him without it. So I just wanted to kind of see what he looks like with it on. But for pretty much all other cases, it's just going to go in storage. So I like him much better without the shield because then you can see all of them. And this is a cool little accessory. It looks like it's like a hologram that comes out of his wrist, so it's got a peg on it. So let's take a look at that. This is actually really fun. This might actually be my second favorite accessory. So the t-shirt first, and then this little, looks like it's looking at the solar system. It's got some planets on there so we can see where in the world is Carmen Sandiego, and he's able to track her down and collect the bounty on her because she's been evading the law for far too long, but now she's going to other galaxies. But this 2-pack is by far one of the coolest action figure sets I think I have ever picked up. So now I just want to do my final accessories on them of which ones I want to display them with. So the dagger is probably definitely going to make it. I'm going to put his kind of thing on the holster as well, the dagger sheath. And then this like scimitar type sword is absolutely amazing. So it's going to hold his 2 bladed weapons, and I like the head that he came in the package with. For the Cosmic Legions one, I do want to trade up for the skeleton head of the alien. I think it's fitting. He's on a skeleton crew, a hardworking guy, and he's gonna locate Carmen Sandiego with his buddy in his new bright red t-shirt. So this is a really fun 2-pack. I absolutely love these figures, and I'm gonna start collecting more Cosmic Legions because this guy is just a lot of fun. If you get a chance, pick him up and enjoy. Thanks for watching.